Good evening. Good evening. I want to thank you all for tuning in to Brother on the Block, presented by Victory Baptist Church. I got with me AJ Banks all the way from the road. I got Dave Merriman all the way from Houston, Detroit, Motortown, and I got David Ruffin, also known as Jermaine Nation. You know, you watch that old Temptation movie where he come on in, or what's my man Eddie Kane? Where he come on in. That's what Jermaine Nation just did, coming on in at the very end. They said, I'm here. I'm here. Well, we're here to make you laugh a little bit. Hopefully, with everything going on, hopefully you get a couple laughs out of our 1 hour sports show. I'm just glad that you're here. My name is Pastor Mark. And let's jump into it. This week, we're going to do some rankings. We're going to rank the top 5 teams, and we're going to rank the worst 5 teams. Rank the top 5s. I like to start off. I'm saying the number 5 team is the Saints. Number 14, the Steelers. Pittsburgh Steelers looking nice. Number 3 team, the Seahawks. Looking nice. I know last week there was some controversy. Are they overrated? I don't think so. The Ravens, number 2. And you just saw what they did today at our 4 o'clock game with nobody there, except all the people that are watching Judge Judy. The Chiefs, it's Judge Judy reference because Judge Judy come on at 4 o'clock. All right, but the Chiefs, to me, the Dallas Texans, the Chiefs, I'm gonna call them that, are the number 1 team in the league. Brothers, what's your top 5 looking like?
I would say the same thing. I would just switch the because you said the Seahawks are what, third?
Third. Mm-hmm.
I would switch them with so you said Kansas City, Baltimore, and then Seattle. Mm-hmm. I would actually switch Baltimore and Seattle.
Okay.
But other than that, I would leave it the same.
Okay. What you got? I want to go to Mr. Controversy at the end of this segment. What you got, Jason?
I'm gonna start from first to last. So
okay.
I'm gonna have to put the Chiefs up top, followed by the Ravens, as well as Seattle. But then fourth for me is the Packers. And then fifth would be the Titans.
So you know what? And I sitting on Titans. I'm sorry. Now the Packers last week, top 5. What Tampa Bay did to them,
right?
Aaron Rodgers got beside himself. They were knocking his head off. It looked like last week with Tampa Bay. And you're right. I was sitting on the Titans. Titans should be in the top 5. They should be in the top 5. I will change mine and say they're better than the Saints. I would say the Titans. Go ahead, Jason.
It's a couple teams that's in contention for this list. But I'm also looking at schedule and who some of these teams played.
Right.
So like I can't shove the Steelers in there just yet. I feel like they kind of played teams that were having some of the same issues they were having, trying to get the personnel right and all that, but you just got a more veteran QB and a veteran staff that took advantage of that. So they 5-0. Titans actually went through some people to get there. The Bills,
COVID-19.
Yeah, I mean, and the Bills is also in that contention. Looking at this game right now that they just lost, that just had me just knocked them down a bit, because that was a true test. Like that was an equal team with equal firepower, and I mean they came close. They just couldn't get it done.
And last week with the Raiders, what they did to the Chiefs, You know, so I'm not saying they're top 5, but I'm saying the Raiders, they kind of to me like them Titans. Like, oh, you forget, like they're pretty good.
Mhm.
Come on, Mr. Stephen A. Smith of Brothers on the Block, Mr. Controversy. What's your top 5 looking like, man?
My top 5. I started with the Titans. I go Titans, Bills, Steelers, and then the Chiefs and Ravens round out my top 5.
All right, so that's what I'm talking about. Not too controversial.
No, I mean,
so you know what Jason was going to say? We're going to say because we represent the 4. We represent the 4.
Yeah. Well, I mean, nah.
We ain't silly, man.
I want to say we up. Yeah, we ain't. I mean, we got to turn it around before we be up there in 5, man. We got some work to do.
That's right. There are people calling you out. The last week we hated on the Seahawks so bad.
Yeah, the Seahawks will be in my bottom 5. Overrated or whatever you want to put them.
Like if we were talking about the NBA, they like the Lakers would probably be like number 20 on the list of LeBron.
Right. He gonna say LeBron didn't get cut. Yeah, you know that's stuff right. That he say.
No, I'm a realist, so I'll be real. We talking about the NBA, I still put the Lakers up there, but tell me I gotta like old boy. You know, the Steelers at the bottom just because the Steelers just I don't know. I mean, not the Steelers, the Seahawks. They just the Seahawks.
He didn't even call him LeBron. He called him old boy.
Right. There's something that happened. We don't know where it was.
Right.
Something happened between LeBron and AJ back in the day.
Right.
It may have been an All-Star weekend. Something happened where he like, man, if I see him in these streets.
But can we briefly talk about like what Henry is doing to these grown men in the NFL? I mean, throwing them around like rag dolls. Like,
because I really would like to see him up close. Because I'm like, how big is this dude?
Dude is
he's
huge.
got to be huge because he's literally. You're right. He's throwing them around like they weren't even supposed to be in the NFL.
Right. Like we're playing high school ball.
Right. You ever seen them little league games where they got this big old kid? You're like, why that big kid playing with these little children?
Right.
He looking like that. Like when he did Josh Norman, which I think none of us are mad about, because Josh Norman is
he had it coming.
Yeah.
But I mean, man, I'd be scared to come back to work.
He is 6'3", 239 pounds.
He don't look 6'3".
Can run the 40-yard dash in 4.5.
That's Alabama. That Nick Saban.
Yeah.
That Nick Saban.
That was a long ride home, Josh Norman, boy. I know they got on him the whole ride home.
Yeah, he don't even know how he got home. They probably still had the smelling salts over his nose.
Well, yeah, I'm like, is he not in concussion protocol? I'm like, what's going on? But then that was 2 weeks ago. Yesterday, he goes again. He knock another dude out. Right. This dude, and he looks solid. Like he's not somebody who is Barry Sanders type, or even to me like Eminem or somebody. He's somebody like, I'm going to run you over. Like we'll take my ball, we like hand the ball over. He's gonna run everybody over. We can't stop him.
I mean oh my God, that Stephon was nasty, man. It was almost chokeslam worthy, man. All he had to do was come down with it. It would have been a chokeslam.
And as Demetrius saying, I mean, he got that good Jiffy cornbread. I don't know what's up in that. What his mama look like, what his daddy look like.
Right.
Because that dude, and you can tell they don't want to tackle him.
Right.
They're kind of sidestepping. They do not want to take that dude head up.
Yeah, but he was like that in Alabama. So I mean, and even like they even started playing like tapes of him in high school or whatever. Like dude's been doing this like for a long time.
But does that take a wear and tear on the body? I mean, we never seen him really injured, if I remember correctly. Is it just this dude just solid and
no,
he
was injured 2 or 3 seasons ago because I had him as a running back in fantasy. He was out half the season, and then he came back. He came back and beasted the back half of the season, and then he's been rolling since.
Well, I mean, what he's doing, and it also talks about Tannehill, which is kind of going to our 5 worst teams. Tannehill looked like a G. He looked like a G. And it says to me, he looked like a failure, a bust in Miami. But now he looks like he could be in the MVP talk. To me, You saying the coach must have been terrible. Now, who was that coach? That was Adam Gase. Let's talk about the Newport Jets. I said Newport because they're getting smoked every week. My lineup tonight. They get smoked. I've been holding that. I wrote it down. I saw it. I wrote it down. The Newport Jets because they're getting smoked every week.
But did y'all see their fans? So like they literally wearing them bags again. Like they had to cut out brown bags over their face at the game. I was like, that's crazy.
Well,
I was like, that was crazy.
Yeah.
Look, let me just tell y'all. I want to say I'm gonna put the Lions in the bottom 5, y'all. I know I got some Lions fans watching, but I'm trying to put that juju out there to get Patricia fired. I was mad that y'all won yesterday because you're hurting the streak, but it's gonna come. Then the Bengals, I feel like they're not at that top 5 yet. They got some problems.
Bing.
Oh no!
Move out the way.
You don't do grown people like that. Somebody should call the police.
I mean that's a grown married man with kids, man. He just talks.
Right. That's assault, a contact, battery. We need to call the police.
Like, what do you tell your kids after that?
Do y'all see how he's jumping in the air? He's catching his legs. He like, Lord, I think I fell on the ground.
I mean, he got lifted up off his feet. He had to roll with it so he wouldn't hurt himself.
But I want y'all to see
Norman could even reach for him, like he just like moved.
But I want you to see the guy behind him. He sees what happens. He's like, oh, that's too much. Let me escort you out of bounds.
Yeah, I'm gonna just detour him out of bounds now. I ain't gonna touch it.
Because I try to play next week. Oh no.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
I don't even know what you go home and tell the family after that. Hey, I'm sorry.
The door swing open and he just come in. And everybody looking at him like
he can't go to the barbershop. He cannot go to the barbershop.
No.
He can have a personal barber like
for a while.
You have to thug it out for a couple weeks, man.
But that's not the first time Josh Norman has lost a fight.
Oh, right.
Because then Dez put hands on him
Yeah,
and Odell Beckham.
A few people.
Both of them.
Right. He's always getting whooped. Let's just talk about that.
He got a mouth on him. He talks too much.
It's the Patrick Beverly of the NFL, man.
Right. All that talk, but you ain't
all that talking.
So okay. So Nate trying to tell me, come on with the lowdown. So I was saying that this is my 5 is the Lions. My 2 is the Bengals, or 4, I should say. The Giants, who won a game, moved up out of my low slot because they beat the Washington team. They beat the Washington. So Giants are better. New York has a win. But New York also got them Newports out there. Them Jets are the worst team, the worst organization. They cut Le'Veon Bell and then fired the coach last week. Cut Le'Veon Bell. Le'Veon Bell then signed with the Chiefs. The Chiefs, to me, when we see how all that looks, and it's going to take a couple weeks, I'm scared for the rest of the NFL what Andy Reid is going to unleash on the rest of us because it's not going to be nice. Le'Veon got to come back like he was with the Steelers, and he got a lot to prove. What y'all got?
Well, let me see. We starting off with Jets number 5. I get Jets number 5, Bengals 4, Chargers, which they've been in a lot of games.
Oh yeah,
Chargers should definitely be better record, but you know what? No, Washington 3. Then we put the Vikings, who also have been in a lot of close games and just can't pull them out. And then I want to put Giants first. I'll forget it. Giants first.
You saying the Giants is the worst team?
Washington's worst. Giants would be second.
Okay. The Washington team is the worst. What you got?
Because they ain't got a quarterback.
Controversy.
Washington, worst team in the league. Then I say the Eagles, Jets, Broncos, and I guess I mean I ain't gonna do the the Seahawks like that. So I guess a team that I feel that's right on the verge of that 5 is truthfully it's my Dallas Cowboys, man. To be honest,
Oh
you know,
wow!
Oh wow.
Oh
you
my!
know.
What?
Wow.
But like I said,
Man.
we're at that, we're at that top, like, with the worst being Washington. But thing is, it's just that defense right now. You just got to be honest, man.
Oh man, that's so
That's
hurtful. That's
I mean,
that for me. Hold that.
but
it
I
hurts
mean
to say. Why you think I had to pause for a minute? It hurted to say it.
when you look at the teams that's 1-5, 0-6, 2-4, a majority of them
I'm
teams
always telling the truth.
majority of these teams been in these games. Like they've been
Right.
scoring, they've been putting up points.
Right.
I mean, Falcons 1-5, Falcons putting up 40 points a
Right.
game.
Right.
1-5.
Right. See, that's why I say. That's why I say the Jets. They have not been in these games.
Correct.
That's why
Correct.
I feel like they're the worst. And Houston and Atlanta were not as bad as the Jets, and the Jets still staying with this guy.
The Jets and Washington, because Washington they pulled the black dude from QB, and they got somebody else quarterback, and now they still horrible. They ain't really put up ever since week 1. Washington came out week 1, and they ain't did nothing since.
But they should have won. They should at least went to overtime with the Giants. Why do you call a 2-point? You could kick the extra point, go into overtime, then you move it. But instead, you want to gamble. Like, okay. I mean, I don't want to shade Ron Rivera like that, but come on, man. That was a poor decision. The Giants were like, "What y'all doing?" They were reeling. And then you gave it back to them. It is what it is. Jermaine, I'm sorry, I went to what you got, man. Who's your 5?
I would definitely say, in no particular order, both of the New York teams, Cincinnati, Vikings, and I would say Falcons.
I forget about the Vikings.
Yeah,
because they're supposed to look better than that.
Right.
Yeah. So with all that being said, I just want to go back to what AJ. So AJ said out of 32 teams, the bottom 5, the Cowboys, are stinking it up.
And there's a reason why I put them there. And the number one reason why I put them there is because on paper they're not supposed to be this bad. And that's just telling the truth. On paper they're not supposed to. So when you talk about their bottom 5, those are teams that some are just trashy, but some of those teams are teams that just not reaching their full potential. And that's the Cowboys. They're just not reaching full potential right now. So they down there.
We'll just update everybody. It's 0-0. Cowboys versus Cardinals. Monday Night Football at Jerry World. Cowboys about to get the ball back off a punt in just a second. So, man, bottom 5. I'm hurt because when you started this season off, it was going to be 13-3.
Yeah, I'm not, like I say, I'm never losing a hope. But I mean, just like I said, when we started the season, we was going by what was on paper, not what was going to transpire, what those guys was going to do. And right now, I haven't seen them on defense yet.
Well,
I'm hoping, like I said, they pick it up. Don't get me wrong, that's still my squad.
You got these haters out here. They pouncing on you. They
I don't listen.
True
I don't listen to the haters.
out here. It's true.
Look, I've been a Cowboy fan for 33 years. The haters have been here the whole time.
They don't want to talk. What they want to talk about their Newports,
right?
They don't want to talk about that.
I mean, it sound like AJ's confession touched your soul, Pastor.
I was like, oh man, I was shocked. Out of all the people, we've been on this thing. AJ been look at the back of them. Look at he got the jerseys up. Look at the color scheme.
Man, that's a brand new Lamb jersey. That's fresh off the press.
Wow. He got Cooper. He got Cooper.
We ain't talking about the jersey. My offense good. That's why they hanging up there.
Well, I'm just saying.
It's like AJ came to the altar call and just confessed all his sins.
It did. That's what it felt like. I really felt like they're like.
Because before this game, I just everything got to be cleared out in the opening before this game, so you can just watch it and take it in.
Well, in yesterday's week, Browns playing the Steelers. Once again, we talked about that. Were the Browns overrated? Baker Mayfield got benched. Is Baker Mayfield overrated? Or is it just poor coaching?
Well, let me go ahead and jump out here because I told you the Browns was overrated. And I got jumped on. What? The record. They doing? No, they are definitely overrated. Baker Mayfield definitely he has the potential. He hasn't dialed it in yet. Like he hasn't found that consistency to be able to come in week to week and keep the same energy you had from the last the last week. It's definitely a lot of inconsistent play there. That also you see that shows because it frustrates folks like Odell, Jarvis.
Right.
Yeah, I mean they coaching wise as well. I mean you should definitely have some other things in the playbook when you see Baker can't make some of these passes, accuracies off. What else is there? I mean Nick Chubb is out, so Kareem Hunt won't be that bang back for you the whole entire game because he's injury prone. So got to be something else. But everybody saw they overrated.
AJ, I want to ask you because last week you were the one.
I said they wasn't. And I still feel that way. It's too early to say they overrated it, right?
But he got benched. He got benched. He was at work. And they told him to come off the machine.
He was at work.
You mess it up. Come on.
Hey, bruh, come on.
That's what they did. I didn't feel this. Like they had their job.
He was moving too fast. He had to be benched to slow down. They had to bench him to slow him down, level him down. Calm down, buddy.
He didn't get back in the game. Please correct me if I'm wrong. They took him out. So I guess it never slowed down for him.
But he'll be back starting Sunday. Y'all know that.
He shouldn't. He shouldn't.
I don't know what was going on with him, man. I mean,
because I don't think it's time to give up on the guy yet. I mean, he's been balling this season before. Besides that game, I mean,
I wouldn't say give up on him, but I mean, he still needs to develop. I think his mentality is okay. I won the Heisman. He's still stuck in. I'm in Oklahoma. Like you're not in Oklahoma anymore. You in Cleveland. You in the NFL. And so I think that he still has a lot of like learning and growing to do as a quarterback.
I didn't like how he did Hugh Jackson. That's why I fell out with him.
Yeah.
Hugh Jackson got fired. Hugh Jackson trying to get a job. Cincinnati, his friend, gives him an opportunity. Then you want to wild out on the dude like, oh, you ain't with us? Like, that's silly. So he's immature. You have the best probably tandem. You got Odell. Look at the things you got. You got a great offensive line. He really does. He got a great defense. You got a fan base that love you no matter what. And you stink up the joint. You stink up the joint every week. Every week. When has he won you a game? Because he didn't win Dallas. That was Odell. When did he win you a game? I'm just saying. I know we ain't got no Cleveland people. I hope we can reach out to Cleveland one of these days. Cleveland, if anybody loves Cleveland, I know that's very few people. Even LeBron left.
She's not watching it today. Yeah, that one lone fan that's out there.
Right, with the little dog pound.
The dog.
Now you won no championship in football since the 60s. Jim Brown, you got named Jim Brown. No, Baker's overrated, man. And I think he's going to kill the football team.
I think he's overrated and disrespectful, like you said, because I want to say one of those games when the coach that got let go was, I forgot who he's with or whatever, but they then played them during that season or whatever. And like he at one point like stared them down like on the field. I'm like,
that's Hugh Jackson.
Yeah.
That's Hugh Jackson. That was Hugh Jackson. He had like we had the Remember the Titans movie. I'm like,
right.
Chill that mess out. Like this dude, he trying to work.
To be an advocate here.
Come on, advocate for the man. Be the devil's advocate.
Yes, that it will. So for the rest of the season, they actually have a favorable schedule for our teams. I mean, the toughest teams they'll see will be Titans, Raiders, Raiders, Browns, Bengals. Correction. Bengals, Raiders, Texans, Eagles, Jaguars, Titans, Ravens, Giants, Jets, Steelers. So
Yeah, it is easy.
They got 4 more wins.
But I mean that's gonna get them in.
Cincinnati might pull. Remember, Cincinnati barely lost.
They barely lost a lot of games too. Yeah,
and it was not a Thursday night game this time. Cincinnati gonna pull out that win. The Steelers gonna beat them up again. Beat them up.
If they
Ravens,
upset the Raiders.
The Raiders gonna show out on them.
They should show out, but I mean, they upset the Raiders. I'm expecting them to outscore the Texans. I'm expecting them to be close, but they should outscore them. Just too many weapons. Eagles, I never really know about the Eagles, man. I mean, one week the defense is there, next week no one's there, so I can't.
There's more Eagles at the hospital than on the field.
Yeah,
everybody getting hurt. They got to put out Craigslist to say, "Hey, do you want to play for an NFL team?" I'm just saying.
I think the Jaguars is a sleeper team for them. I think they're gonna lose to the Jaguars. Titans should run over them. Ravens should stop them. Giants, they should be able to hang on against the Giants and the Jets. But Steelers, as that last game before it's playoff time, I think the Steelers kind of either make or break them for making it.
Well, I will be cheering for the Giants like I did last Sunday to beat the Browns. And I will do it for the Jets. Because now Baker Mayfield on my target list. Oh, ain't no boo. I was cheering for the Giants on Sunday because they're the only person in our team. Our division ain't won nothing. So we didn't want Washington to win.
I said the same thing.
That's right. Thank you, Giants. We were happy. So happy. And I was happy with Jets, though. I want that man get fired on his job. So Baker, we talk about overrated. I want to spend some substantial time today because one of the biggest things out there is fantasy football. Fantasy football is a huge sport within and of itself. Many of us will watch football, so we're watching our fantasy football team players. For some of y'all who don't know fantasy football, JC, you might explain it a little bit of what fantasy football is.
Fantasy football is you draft a team full of NFL players. The league will potentially consist of 8 to 12 teams. Everyone would draft a certain amount of players, quarterbacks, running backs, tight ends, wide receivers, defense, the kicker, give or take, depending on what the league is. But everyone basically shows up to a draft. Everyone gets placed in sequential order. And when it's your turn to pick, you pick the best available player from any team that's, from those that are left in the pool. When everything's said and done, everyone has their own custom built team that you hand-picked or hand selected. At that point, you proceed to place the best player, the player that's slated to score the most points. You're going to put those players in your starting lineup against whoever it is you're going to go against for that week, hoping to score more points than your opponent. In a nutshell.
Right. So all of us are in the league together. Some who are watching are also in the league. And I know many of y'all across our nation are in different leagues. So I would ask you, how is your fantasy football team looking? 2 weeks ago, I was saying I was a G. And then I ran them on Sister Circle. And they beat me.
You ain't been the same since.
And then I stumbled out. I lucked up, got out of one game, and now I got Brother Nation I'm playing against. He got more people scoring on the bench. He ain't even starting the whole team. I'm still getting beat. So I blame Sister Circle because I was hot. I was fire, and now I'm not even. I don't know what I am. I'm struggling.
See. You say Jermaine is a hater on the show, and he's also disrespectful with his fantasy football lineup because he didn't even fill a full team, and he's still giving it to you.
Did not put a full team out there, y'all. He had no tight end to play. He put Tom Brady out there over Deshaun Watson. Deshaun. He gonna put Tom Brady. Tom Brady beat me.
Yes, sir.
I'm struggling out here. I'm not even over 50 points yet. I only got 4 to play. I'm struggling out here. Jermaine gonna beat me with a cold 100 points or so.
Hey, brother, I need that win. I need that win.
So that's what I'm saying. Go ahead, Jermaine.
Yeah, because I think like you, Sister Circle beat me bad, and then it was like somebody else that beat me really bad too. So yeah, I need this win, Pastor. I need it. I need it.
That's where don't sleep on Sister Circle. Some of y'all, well, who is Sister Circle? Sister Circle is Sister Mitra from the D-Town and Sister Kelly from New York. That's the only time they winning. But anyway,
He couldn't help himself, man. I'm still waiting for a shooter flying to the shot. Knock his headphones off.
That's me wrestling with the flesh, y'all. But man, they bring it. I'm like, dog, it is shameful. I won't say shameful, it's hurtful. When you gotta look up to your wife and she having conversations on the phone, and you like, well, what y'all? Can you leave the room? We're talking strategy. Yeah. So how you doing, Jason? How's your team looking?
As of right now, I am I'm 3-2, going against Mr. AJ this week, and I'm hoping he don't pull a fast one in this game that's going on right now to beat me. But it's looking like I'm gonna be 4-2 going into next week, trying to catch up with the Dallas Morels, man.
Well, Jason and I had played one another. It was a battle of the unbeatens, and it was a good classic matchup. Then I got set up with I'm telling you, that's the circle. Next time I'm gonna do some prayer fasting on that week when I got playing. Yeah, Nate is out there. Nate is doing some things. You know, he's all about Seattle Seahawks and all that. And I'm 4-1 right now, but it's not looking good. I might be in that 4-2. Then AJ, you didn't have some battles, man. You kind of like the Cowboys.
My thing is I just forget a lot to check it, update it, look and see who injured, who hurt. But right now I'm with Jason 3-2. Don't know how Sister Circle jumped me Victory West when I beat them, and we got the same record. I feel like I should be in first place, but
so do you have enough points?
Yeah, I mean, I'm somebody in the, you got your little conferences, and Sister Circle is in first place. It look like I'm in second, but I beat them, so I should be the number one team. But,
all I saw was the text that come across the screen on Sunday. Man, I don't have a quarterback. And what I found out is you have to watch your conversations with folks, because I was with Jason and I talking. He done told me he dropped somebody. I'm like, oh, that'd be real good. I might pick him up. Next thing I know, Jermaine picked him up. Jermaine don't even play the man. He just on the man's bench. I said, that's a mess.
He playing defense in a different way.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you hate on the field.
Yeah, he is right.
In the fantasy football team, you don't even play the man.
Yeah, I still got to figure out how everything works.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, so we are tied. Nate say we tied for first place. Yeah, we are. I see now.
On your side. Because Nate not tied with me, not yet, but it's after tonight. That sister
Got next
circle.
week.
That sister circle to mess me up. The Cowboys and Cardinals are still 0-0. We're in the first quarter, 8 minutes, about 8 minutes is left. And I do see Sister Circle is on top of their division.
They're tied in their division, sir. Not on top. Not
They,
on top.
well, they got more points than you do. Does that make them on top? No.
I
Because
don't know
America's
that.
saying yop.
We both got a number one by us, so I don't know who the true number one is. I'm
Well,
thinking it's me since I beat them, but I mean, it is what it is.
Well, we hopefully Ezekiel gonna pull out the game of his life, and I won't beat Jermaine. I don't think that. And then Nate's talking much noise to Sister Circle that they get blown out in that game. Oh, y'all don't pull up and stuff. That's
Leave it to Jay. Oh, no.
put up all the stats. Put up all the stats. So the circle, it's 136-70. So the circle would beat me this week. I'm struggling. I'm only at 43 points. I'm struggling bad.
We will put the score and stats up when I'm losing.
Uh-oh.
I'm sorry.
Oh, look at that.
All right. So it's gonna be a long season, everybody.
No.
Y'all need to know Andy Dalton ain't Dak. It's gonna be a long season.
He just getting warmed up.
He almost took a safety.
But
Dallas also have.
He ain't Dak, but he ain't no bad quarterback though. He should be playing better than what he's doing right now.
The line is terrible. Look how that man just came back there like that.
Yeah, and then, that line banged up too though. That line banged up.
Right. They going to the health club in the YMCA to pick up these linemen. so terrible. We will be glad we playing the Cardinals. Cause all they want to do is run around Kyler Murray. This is gonna be rough.
We're gonna be all right. I don't think it's gonna be rough. I think they're gonna get it together. Everything gonna shape up, and
So I just want to, as we come to toward our end of our second half, how many of y'all voted already, brothers?
Yep, I voted last week. No, not last week. The week before. I'm sorry.
I'll be getting out this week to do it.
All right.
Yeah,
I know that
yesterday.
So, I'm just joking. I said I know that felony not gonna stop you, Jason. I'm just joking. You ever had to have a conversation like, "Hey man, I would like you to vote, but you can't. And if you do, you could go back." I'm just joking with you. Because Jason is on the road. I just want to spotlight that. Jason does bowling. He also has his own tech company. Jason does a lot. He's our Ric Flair of our team because he is jet flying, high flying, everything, limousine riding. He does it. He does it. I mean, we live vicariously through him.
Yes.
To be the man, you got to beat the man, right?
There you go. See it. So with that said, I know, but I would tell everybody, American Airlines, AJ, we got in there at 1:00. We were out by 1:12.
Yeah,
that's good.
Yeah.
They got a lot of people, a lot of booths. I mean, it's real nice. We stood in line. We got there at 12:40. The thing that opened to 1. We moved right in there, and everybody got in and out.
Mm-hmm.
So please vote. We are about 2 weeks away from Election Day. Don't wait till Election Day. If you're in the state of Texas, we've been given 3 weeks. Folks trying to let us know you don't have an excuse. So please vote. Even if you're saying, "Well, I don't vote," it's important. This election is important. Okay. Elections were important too, but this one, it really can impact the life of your life and your children for a long time. So it's important for you to vote. We would never tell you who to vote for, but we would tell you there are people who have died, sacrificed for you just have that right to vote. So please go and vote, make it happen. I don't know how about the other states. I know there's a lot of stuff going on in Michigan. Lord mercy. I don't know what's going down over there, but I feel like the governor need to move to Detroit. Let some of the brothers and the culture be around her, because I mean, this is so crazy. They were talking about kidnapping the governor.
Can't make it up.
Governor.
That's crazy.
Crazy.
2020, I done heard it.
Have we not? Had 2020 not been crazy?
It has.
This one for the history books.
It really is. 2020 is crazy. 2020 took out that and took out. I mean, 2020 is a bad boy. And so I'll tell y'all to vote, because they talking about kidnapping governors. It's going too far. It's just going too far, and that's why we got to go out and vote, y'all. So please don't complain on Facebook. Don't complain on Twitter if you're not gonna go vote. Okay, I didn't throw this at the guys, but I'm bringing this subject up and I apologize, y'all. Forgive me. I think we went through our other segments a lot faster than we normally do. So I want to bring this up. What did y'all feel about Ice Cube consulting the Trump campaign? And basically them lifting his contract with Black America and turn that into the platinum plan? How do y'all feel about that?
Let me see. When I looked into the details on it, apparently Ice Cube said he reached out to both parties at the same time, and he in the Biden campaign never responded, but the Trump campaign did, of course, because someone probably was like, "Hey, look who it is! You know, we can use this piece as a chess piece." But it's still like, man, kids like, come on, Cube, really? It's kind of on the fence. Like, I understand it from a business deal, but at the same time, it's like in the times that we in right now, what's going on? We need all the support we can get. You know, and that may sway some people who, I've seen Cube, you know what I'm saying, must not be that bad on the other side. Yeah, I mean, this my 2 cents. I'll take up a segment talking about this, because Cuban had already been back on social media trying to set it straight, and he done did a couple Instagram things. He done did some CNN footage, and it's like, yeah, but you didn't get a chance to get in front of it. With social media, if you got to get in front of it before it grow legs, and it took off before he even got a chance to say something to the people.
In my understanding, he met with them back in July.
Yeah.
And they held that information, and it was one of his surrogates that put it out last week, who is a African American young lady who likes to kind of pump out that kind of stuff. So she's the one that put it out there, like, yeah, we're working with Ice Cube in October. This way back in July, like you said, he can say, hey, I've had a conversation with him, and we'll see where it goes. But they've been sitting on it. They didn't announce his platinum plan until after the Republican convention, sometime in mid-August, maybe even 1st of September. I'm like, I don't know. I think you also you have to watch how you're being used.
You get played.
Right.
Yeah.
Because if this was what you wanted, you should already came out with it. It's kind of like you dated a homegirl, but you didn't tell none of your friends. Then you ashamed. You dated her on the side. You took her to McDonald's, but you ain't trying to bring her to your mama house. Why? Because you just like, look, this just means you talking. And that's how he treated Trump.
And I think the like when they spun it off for the platinum plan, all that was just like, Cube, you got played, big dog. You got played. They waited.
They didn't even use your name for what you had to plan. They took your stuff, plagiarized it, and did that. You could have done that a lot differently. And then what's said is that the Biden campaign says we'll talk after the election. Some people feel like that was disrespectful, but the thing was, Biden already has a plan.
Right.
It's called Lift Every Voice.
Yep.
So he already had the plan. Trump had no plan. You basically gave Trump his plan.
Yep. And got played.
And got played bad. I mean, Kanye out there getting played. just to be on the ballot to take away votes. 30,000 people have already voted for him. Oh Lord! Now you got this. This is just they politicking you.
His name still on the. I thought he pulled it back.
Who, Kanye?
Yeah,
he's on the one in Oklahoma, I believe. Because it's not about just electoral vote. They're trying to make sure that the popular vote comes down. So that's why you only do one drop box per county in Texas. Yeah. So you try to bring that popular vote. So if something happens, you can't say it was a blowout, and then maybe you can get into court and try to make it more contested. That's why you appoint justices in the midnight hour that's more likely going to side with you. It's all the game. And so that's why I'm disappointed why Ice Cube, like, you make the whole point where they say I talk to you after the election. Bro, if I already got a plan,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm busy. Like, I know you Ice Cube, but on the cool, you just Ice Cube. This is not like it was Barack Obama.
Right.
And he wanted to call me. You know what I'm saying? Like, this Ice Cube, okay. Like, I'm not thinking Tyler Perry can just call up Biden like, hey, I want to talk right now.
Right.
You on that same level. You and Tyler Perry, that kind of same level, dude. And really, Tyler Perry's better because he got his own studio. He got a lot.
Right.
You still working for the man, and you want to come on, man. Yeah. AJ, what you think about that, man?
I didn't do no research into it, so I don't.
Okay, and that's my fault. Actually, I didn't think we were gonna go this fast in, but I said, you know what? Since we going there, let me just get your raw opinions. And I see my commentary has got a little light, so I think
the internet's still like Cube up.
They are. What you think, Jermaine?
Like AJ, I didn't get a chance to like really look and see like what he said, but I mean, just the fact that you would consult, that person of all people. You look at Ice Cube and like like everything that he's done in his career. You have a song called "The Police," and then you go, and this is what you do. So it's just kind of like it's crazy. That that you would turn to that person of all, to be like, hey, this is the plan that you should have, for Black people or people of color. Like, I'm like, okay, it's just ridiculous.
A key sentence is, despite what he says is the ultimate goal in joining forces with Trump, it's just not a good look. A president who wouldn't condemn white supremacy can also be the same president who's making strides to help the Black community. I just don't see it.
Right.
So
you can't say stand back and stand by. You can't say it's good folks on both sides. and I don't disagree with Amitria. Rolling Stone just came out with an article talking about Jerry Falwell Jr. And that money trail that may have led to that endorsement 4 years ago, which got a lot of evangelicals who were on the fence, who were like, but this dude been married 3 times. This dude, all the laundry list of things. But Jerry Falwell Jr., using his father's name, Jerry Falwell, gave the endorsement for Trump, which then ultimately helped him have this cult-like following among many evangelicals. And so, and a lot of people believe money talks. Liberty University got the highest rate of loans from the U.S. government than any other college, almost $700 million in 1 year. So, that's just a lot. So I agree with Mitchell, money talks, but we can't always sell out for a couple of dimes, because many times they buy our folks off for a couple of dollars.
Right.
Nothing that's going to set up your family for generations to come.
Right.
It may help you get to a McDonald's. Like, come on, man. Let's do. And at the end of the day, it's something that Jason and I had talked about a while back. You can't look for other folks to do something that they don't want to do. If they don't want to do this, if the government was going to do this, they would have done this over a century ago. Over 75, 50. I mean, Kim to come down. All the people we thought that, they're going to help. None of these people help. We're going to have to do it ourselves. And this is where church got to step up and not just put the money on Pastor's Cadillac, but we got to create our own credit unions. We got to send kids to college and talk with them about their majors. If you do really need to go to a university, do you need to go get a trade? Because you might make more money being a plumber than being a lawyer while you all in that debt.
Right.
But we got to have that conversation, and we got to have a conversation within the culture so we start moving forward. Because there is no hope in the government that they're going to do that in our community.
Right. And I think that we as a people continue to look for, the Calvary. The Calvary is already here. We are the Calvary. And so we have to figure out, what our role is as a church, what our role is, in the schools, what our role is, at home to, like you said, to help our kids along to figure out, if college is for them, if you need to go and get a trade school, get a trade, from trade school, what is it that we can do to help put these, this generation, and the people coming up after us on the right path, to make sure that they have, the things that they need, for their families and their families' families.
Mm-hmm. I mean, to me, it's a realist talk that we can have, because I read through Biden's Lift Every Voice plan. I do like it. I read some of the Platinum plan, which is Ice Cube's contract. Those things in there I like. At the end of the day, I know it's not going to happen, because every year they got a plan. It's somebody who sits out and write everything down, and they never do nothing. And that's what I'm saying. We're going to have to create our own pathway. We got to stop waiting. And when we create the pathway, you're going to see some great things happen within our community. We have to stop allowing our young men to think all I can do is hustle on this corner. Because eventually they're going to be sent to jail, or be killed. We got to capture back our community and invest in it with time, talent, and treasure. And to me, the one thing we own in our community is our church buildings. And churches got to step up. You cannot say we're doing our job and you're doing 1 hour service and maybe 1 hour Bible study. We have to do more than what we're doing today. That's my thought on it, because then that's how Ice Cube don't get caught out like that no more. He's working within the community. I
mean, heck, the year 2020 has not been what we all expected it was going to be. But I also feel like when you look back on 2020, you may say, you know what, the United States, the world, the globe hasn't been that slow. Things hadn't slowed down that much probably since I've been on this earth to what it is now. And I say that to say, with things so slow around you, you think, oh man, COVID's got us locked down. We're in the house. We can't do nothing. No, what's really happening is that other folks, smart money is getting in position.
Yeah.
Like they're getting in position, because then once they throw the green light to say it's time to go back to normal, the money machines start printing again and folks is in position. So like new skill sets, things that you didn't know, like between March and current, it's a lot of months to go pick up, try to pick up something new, look into something new. All these jobs just got cut because of businesses closing down. Again, when things pick back up, same folks that cut all these jobs, same folks gonna be hiring for new people. At the same time, businesses that close and are no longer going to be around or reopen when things pick back up, that's also an opportunity. But that's a whole different, conversation. But yeah, I mean, as everything slowed down since March to current, smart money has been getting in position.
Yeah, I mean, the dude that owned Amazon, I mean, he's like the richest man basically now. He's making more money, and everyone says it. Everybody that's a billionaire has made more money during COVID than anything. They have not lost any money. And I just want somebody a couple weeks back was tuning into our show and left a comment like, "Oh, is this a church page?" And I'm like, "Yeah, we did a pivot, and the pivot is we know we can't have in-person church, and so what we're trying to do is reach out in different ways to different folks, because where I don't want people the church right now does not have a good reputation. And I need people really to feel that. When people say church, they're like, they don't feel it, especially not men. And we got to get into a habit that Jesus was a person that laughed with folks. He cried with folks. He ate with folks. Jesus wasn't just Jesus at the synagogue. And we got to get outside the building. So we do this, have fun, laugh, but show brotherhood and show that, hey, man, church is not a stuffy place on a Sunday morning for 1 hour. It can be a place where I can form relationships, have a laugh, and actually grow as a person. And that's why I hope this show represents to a lot of people. Same way our Sister Circle. Our Sister Circle did mental health, did financial training, all kind of stuff during that summertime, and they coming back. All these things, we got to reach outside. I love how Jason said that. We should not come out of COVID the same way you came in COVID. And I'm not trying to say you had to, but come on. We got to get up out of our funk. I've been there. We got to get out of our funk, and COVID ain't going away tomorrow. So it still got time. Right. So let's get on this, man. We got some stuff to do. Connect with people via Zoom, Microsoft Teams, Google Hangout, whatever you need to do. Let's go get this because it's for our children. That's how I look at it. It's for if you got kids, it's for them future. Some of y'all gonna meet y'all booze on COVID.
Yeah. When some of my friends reach out for advice, like a lot of IT people who are in like help desk related work, like lower level positions, are trying to work their way up. And hey, I want to do this, I want to do that. Do you have any training, any ideas? What should I look at? What should I study? What should I can go find, like any training that you want, and I'll give it to you, on a USB drive. I may send you some links. I may give you, hours. We're talking, 80 plus hours worth of stuff. However you asked for it, I found it, gave it to you. 6 months go by, and it's like, hey man, what's going on? Where you at? Man, I'm still looking at it. Really ain't figured out which one I want to read first, or which, thing I want to go play with. And but I'm gonna get to it. Hey, what do you recommend now? What's hot now? The same thing I gave you 6 months ago is still hot. And it's just that initiative, that drive, but you don't have to be out of the house, to painting the town red trying to find something to do. I mean, not everyone has internet, but if you can get in front of a computer, cell phone, information is out there. But yeah, I mean, this is the biggest time to capitalize than we've ever had, because life around you is slow. For those of us who got to stay home and work, since COVID's happened, you in the house, that's less travel. Some of those hours could be, used for other things. But like I said, we probably could do a whole segment on that on one of these shows.
And then we're gonna have to jump on that on a serious note. Well, I appreciate y'all. It's something that AJ had shared with me. He said, man, I want to get into cybersecurity. I think AJ looking at his future. That cybersecurity, as I told AJ, Ross Perot's son, who I got to meet through the certain connection or whatever. I'm like, well, what do you do, sir? Because I always like to ask, who make your money? How you do it? He's like, oh, I've been doing cybersecurity for decades. Now he's talking about IBM and all that stuff. It's more advanced now, but the man made wealth off of that. Now I look at AJ and I'm saying, brother, every time you hear Target got hit by some Russians or this and this Russian or whatever who it is, I said, this brother can make a lot of money. We're all online.
Yeah, I mean, well, that's basically what I do right now. Is just not having a certificate for it. I'm not getting the same pay as I would with being actually having a certificate, certified. But I mean, yeah, it's a growing field.
But you're gonna get it. You're gonna get it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I know right now for our company, I know I can't say the name, but I mean, the head guy is making $500,000, a year, and it's like, man, what do I need to do to get that? And well, go get your CPI. Make sure go back and at least try to get your bachelor's in security management. Switch it up. He said, because all that play a role, and man, it's there. So yeah, that's definitely the field that I'm in. I love security. So
Hey,
it's definitely coming out of this COVID with some better, stronger, and ready to take over the world.
So when he come out with them little banks, we know they're gonna be taken care of. Little AJ the third, little Trey, they're gonna be taken care of.
Not
God
Trey.
be the glory. To God be the glory.
That's right. Then we're gonna get my man. Anybody got a cousin out there who work?
Not a cousin.
Remember, there's some single ministers out there.
Hey, hold on.
Have a job.
No. We can't roll from building people up, talking about prosperity and longevity to Match.com.
Turn off your Tinder.
Oh man.
I mean, if that's the case, just drop Jermaine's Instagram link in the comments.
I never said a Jermaine name. I just said some ministers who single out there. But
you already covered me and AJ. So.
I'm just saying, some people gonna come out of COVID more blessed on the other side than they came. Amen. But that's our show for the day.
There's nothing wrong with online. I met my wife on.
Oh no! I'm not saying it. We online right now. I'm saying we're in the chat. That's what I'm saying. In the chat, Christian Mingle.
Yeah.
That's how I know I've been with somebody for such a long time. Before she knew exactly where I was about to go. Christian Mingle. Boy, that's funny. Anyway, like I said, so no, nothing wrong with online. I'm saying we online.
We good.
Drop your email in the chat, and then he'll follow up. All right.
Get it then, Jermaine.
These are all jokes, y'all. We want to end off with a couple laughs. Not saying my brother's singlehood is a laughing matter, but saying I'm proud of Jermaine. That's a good brother. If there's any kind of letter or reference or recommendations, I definitely give that to him. And it's gonna be a long season for the Cowboys. So,
hey,
so you know how to play that DM song? They're in my DMs.
The Cardinals were the first team to get the ball across the 50.
This a long
we see, brother. Good night.
Still 0-0 though.
Well, like I said, I appreciate y'all, man. Y'all take care, everybody. This is Brothers on the Block. We'll see y'all next Monday with more laughter, more sports, more talk about the culture. Brother, let's salute them out. We'll see y'all.